Hello, it's V here, and you're welcome to this video. We are going to be seeing some facts about Rush. Welcome to this video. So, without further ado, let's get right into this video.
Rush's songs speak to the mind and the heart. The band also sings from a place of empathy, as its individual members have endured a lot of pain and struggle over the years. Here's the tragic real-life story of Rush. From late 1996 to July 1997, Rush toured in support of its album Test for Echo. And after the final stop in Ottawa, Ontario, drummer Neil Peart headed home to Toronto to see his 19-year-old daughter, Selena Taylor, off to college. Peart wrote in Ghostwriter Travels on the Healing Road that on the morning of August 10, 1997, he hopped on his motorcycle to guide his daughter, who was riding in a car behind him, through the Quebec wilderness. He wrote that they stopped at a gas station and parted ways. Once again, I hugged and kissed her and told her I loved and was proud of her. Now I was so glad those words had been spoken. That's because later that day, Taylor died after being involved in a single-car accident. According to MTV News, Taylor's Jeep rolled over on Highway 401, somewhere between Toronto and Montreal. Jackie Taylor, the mother of Neil Peart's daughter and his partner of more than 2 decades, was understandably devastated by the death of Selena Taylor. Peart wrote, "She just wanted to die. She had to be coaxed into eating anything at all and talked of suicide constantly." In January 1998, Peart and Taylor were beginning to emerge from the haze of grief when Taylor started to suffer from a persistent nighttime cough and serious back pain. However, it wasn't the result of grief-related stress, as Taylor had presumed. Instead, a doctor diagnosed her with terminal cancer. Just a few months later, Taylor passed away after suffering a series of strokes. This personal tragedy was the second loss of a family member that Peart suffered in less than 1 calendar year.
After she passed away, he was lost. And so he got on his motorcycle and ran.
When a lot of legacy musical acts retire, they let their audiences know and stage a final goodbye tour so they can cash in before disappearing from the public eye. Rush certainly could have made a bundle from a farewell tour, but that wasn't in the cards. In 2018, Geddy Lee told Trunk Nation, quote, "That period of our life is done." The reason? Neil Peart couldn't play the drums to his own very high standard anymore. Lee explained, "Neil is retired. He hasn't just retired from Rush. He's retired from drumming. He's not drumming anymore, and he's living his life, which is fine." The band's R40 tour in 2015 wound up being the band's last, and even then, it was very hard for Peart to get through because of tendinitis, shoulder pain, and a serious foot infection. Lee explained, "Neil was struggling throughout that tour to play at his peak because of physical ailments and other things that were going on with him. And he did not want to go out and do anything less than what people expected of him." While not an original member of Rush, Neil Peart played a huge part in forging the band's identity. Not only was he responsible for 40-plus years of superhuman proficiency and clever drum technique, he also wrote the majority of the band's intelligent and philosophical lyrics. But sadly, health issues forced Peart to quit the band after its 2015 tour. And while Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson discussed teaming up for some musical project down the line, it just wouldn't and couldn't be Rush without Peart. And now there will never be a full Rush reunion. On January 7th, 2020, Peart passed away at the age of 67. A spokesman for Peart's family confirmed the news to Rolling Stone, as well as revealing that Peart had been quietly fighting brain cancer for several years. Rush shared a message on Instagram, "Our friend, soul brother, and bandmate of over 45 years, Neil, has lost his incredibly brave 3.5-year battle with brain cancer." Rush bassist Geddy Lee is one of Canada's finest, born in Toronto in 1953. His parents, Morris Weinrib and Manya Rubinstein, were relatively recent immigrants to the Great White North, both originally from Poland. The pair met and fell for each other in 1939. And as this was Poland under World War II-era Nazi occupation and they were Jewish, that meeting occurred in a work camp. Neither was older than 13, and they were both sent to the notorious Auschwitz concentration camp, where they endured unbelievable horrors for close to 2 years. Then, Weinrib was transferred to Dachau, while Rubinstein remained at Auschwitz before being sent to Bergen-Belsen. After the Allied liberation of the camps, Weinrib set out in search of Rubinstein, eventually finding her at a displaced persons camp and marrying her before moving to Canada. Lee would later say that his first memories were of his mother discussing Hitler in the camps. His father was more reticent to discuss the atrocities and died when Lee was only 12. While it's certainly not as tragic as the rest of these events, Rush's years-long struggle to get respect from the rock and roll mainstream is certainly puzzling and undeserved. At one point, a critic writing for Rolling Stone likened Geddy Lee's voice to a, quote, dog-calling falsetto shriek that floats through the songs like swamp gas. Alex Lifeson explained to Radio.com, "They didn't like us at all at Rolling Stone. In fact, I think it sort of bordered on hate. They were a hip crowd from an early generation.
If they don't appreciate the aesthetics of our music, then they will find it offensive, frankly. And consequently, radio stations do not want to take a chance on playing something like us."
Rolling Stone publisher Jan Winter also headed up the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And despite being eligible for years and being one of the most successful acts ever, Rush couldn't get enshrined. Finally, in 2013, Rush made it in. Lifeson said, "When we were nominated, it came as a bit of a surprise to us because we thought we wouldn't get inducted unless it was over Jan Winter's dead body. But he was still quite alive." Check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more grunge videos about your favorite artists are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.
Wow. This is really a tragic one there. Ouch. My condolences to Rush. R.I.P. to Neil Peart and every member of the band, every member of the band that's no more. My condolences, okay? All this while, I thought, this band I've been listening to, they still make music, they still make what they love to do, but I never knew that. Anyways, guys, this is the much we can take on this particular video. Thank you so much for watching, and please check through my channel. If you're a fan of Rush, I have amazing songs that you would love. I'm going to be linking them up here or in the description. Make sure you check it out. So with that being said, see you right in my next video. Stay safe and bye.